How would you like to rewire subconscious beliefs and heal self-sabotage? Christina Woods will tell us how to do it. And what's so special about Christina is she is a clinical hypnotherapist, advanced theta healing practitioner, advanced medical intuitive technique practitioner, and Reiki master. And she helps women clear subconscious blocks, release emotional wounds, and step into clarity, confidence, and spiritual alignment. So, Christina, tell us more about what are subconscious beliefs and how can someone rewire them in order to stop self-sabotage?
Heal Podcast with Lily Patrascu shares longevity and anti-aging techniques to stay young forever, increase energy, overcome addiction, and live your longest, best life ever. Shared by world's most innovative, alternative, and traditional health thought leaders, healers, and doctors. Discover quantum healing strategies to heal your mind, body, and soul.
Sure. So there's a lot in that question, but we all have a conscious mind and our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is actually what is 95% of how we think and feel and what we believe about ourselves and the world. So how we make decisions and really what dictates our life. And so when we really want to make powerful changes in the world, it's pretty important that we make them at that subconscious level and not our conscious mind. So our conscious mind is logic, our analytical mind, really the things that we think, the pros and cons when we make decisions. We think we're making them from our logical mind, but we're really truly making them from that subconscious. And when we want to rewire, we have to be able to access the subconscious. So you and I talking on this show or just talking with our friends, we're not able to access our subconscious mind, but it's actually a very natural state. So we do fluctuate and go into the subconscious mind throughout the day. So if you're ever doing the dishes or driving and you don't remember driving home, or you don't remember having a conversation while you're doing the dishes and someone's talking to you and you don't remember, we sort of go into those modes where, I'm so sorry, I don't remember what you said, or I don't remember if I stopped at that light. We go into those places, but you're able to go there purposely and intentionally in things like hypnosis or other modalities. And what we're able to do is we're able to go in and find out what is the reason for the sabotage. So if it's procrastination or if it's eating or whatever the habit is that we want to stop, find out the root cause of it. And then we're able to change that subconscious belief. Because, many of us have a sabotage that I'm not enough or I'm not good enough. And it sabotages and turns into us behaving a way or speaking a certain way, getting angry, whatever it might be.
Thank you. Is there anything an entrepreneur can do by themselves as well that could help them rewire these subconscious beliefs and stop self-sabotaging? And the reason I ask you this is because I still self-sabotage. So every time I organize a large event, I find that I get sore throat and cough and migraine, and I tend to sleep like 4 hours the day before, and then I'm really tired and I still deliver, but it feels like pulling teeth the whole day.
Yeah,
even though I have even though I've organized hundreds of events, and even though you can say generally I'm a great speaker, but I need to have some rest. And when I don't, I might get on stage and I could pretend to be confident, but maybe I'll say some gibberish, like I'll say I'll be not as effective as a speaker, not as impactful, not as, maybe not have the same ability to touch, move, and inspire and leave people with the actual intention that I came. It feels almost like organizing a massive theater show and then bringing unprepared actors.
Right. Yeah. Because our subconscious mind is actually 1,000,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. So consciously, you're thinking, I know exactly what to say. Everything I know, I've prepared for this. But subconsciously, these little saboteurs come out, or the sore throat, because our subconscious mind is actually also our body. So if you've ever heard of the book, The Body Keeps the Score, we actually have these reactions in our body because it's stored in our body. So one of the most powerful things that we can do is listen to the words that we're saying. So and change the language that we're saying. So we might not be very conscious of the little things that we say, but even little things such as this traffic is killing me, or, if I have to do this one more time, my head's going to explode, or, I'm going to stay up all night, and if it kills me, this is what I'm going to do. So we say little things that our body is listening, and our body will say, well, gosh, if she's really that tired, or she's really this or that, I'm going to help her out by helping her get a little bit more rest. If she's this tired, or she's this, maybe a little sore throat will slow her down. So just really paying attention to what are we really saying or feeling, because our body listens to everything we say and do, and responds. It believes it. Our subconscious always believes that it's doing us a favor, and it really doesn't care if what we do is good or bad or right or wrong or going to make us a lot of money. It really only cares if it keeps you alive. That's all it cares about. And so if it just keeps us alive, if you think about it, well, really, and it also doesn't know how old we are. And so if that belief keeps us small, if anxiety keeps us from feeling judged, well, then you can believe it's going to make you hold back or keep us, fumbling our words, because that's better than being judged and feeling embarrassed. But, we have to remember, okay, wait, that was when I was 5, or when I was in class, when I was 10. So getting to the root of, gosh, I feel this way, just like when. So even asking ourselves, when was the last time I felt this way? And sort of allowing ourselves to go back to when we might have also felt that way, having compassion for those moments in our life, and allowing ourselves to say, well, that made a lot of sense then. Because what we tend to want to do as entrepreneurs is say, I know better, move on, get over it. I should know better, and not have compassion for those times in our lives when that was difficult, or we were nervous, or we didn't know enough, and we were a guppy or just learning, and now we are more proficient. But there's a part in our body, our nervous system, that still believes we are only 20 something still learning. And we have to have compassion for that part and say, you know what, that made sense then. It's okay. Actually, now I'm this age, I'm actually the boss, and I'm putting on the show, and people are showing up. I do know what I'm saying. You don't have to show up. I'm the one showing up on stage. It actually is really effective.
Thank you. Now, imagine that I do know what is causing the self-sabotage. Where do I go from there? Like, for example, a few years ago, had a lot of different, people scamming me, and people didn't pay me, and people just disappointed me so many different ways that I almost didn't want to have clients anymore. And then for a while, I just stopped sending proposals, and it had a major impact on my business, of course, and on me.
Yeah.
But the impact of that was that nobody got to really experience me anymore. Nobody got to take advantage of the immense knowledge that I had and expertise. And then for me, of course, I just didn't make as much money as before. But I just, for a really long time, I was unable to send proposals. I was just scared of people. What would you suggest to someone like that who, let's say, is self-sabotaging to such a dramatic way where they're shutting down?
I mean, it's so common. I would really get to the root of because again, there's a belief that there's some sort of benefit. And I know as we have this dialogue, we would say, there's no benefit to that. How is this benefiting me? It's financially, a hardship, and I'm not putting myself out there. But the subconscious, again, there is a benefit. And if we get to the root of it, we can dig so much deeper. And what I find when we're smart and we're intelligent and we're successful, we can't have a dialogue and a conversation about it because it just doesn't necessarily make sense on those terms. But when we can go back and quiet that part of our mind and have a dialogue with our subconscious mind, we are so intuitively in tune and understand at a deep subconscious level, our mind will go back to the root. And once we do find the root of it, we can make those parts safe. Once we get to the root, how you rewire it is you flip those beliefs. And as long as it feels safe, we rewire by repetition. We rewire it energetically. So what I do with clients energetically is I'll make them an audio I'll clear your energy, your chakras, we'll do energy work. We got to get to the root of it. And it isn't, that doesn't make sense. And, it's really getting to the root of whatever that might be. There might not be joy in what you're doing. And so we do block these things, getting to what is it that you really want to do. A lot of times we do things because we think that's what we're supposed to do. And really, we're not aligned with that anymore. What are we really aligned with? How can we just make little tiny shifts where we start calling in clients that we're more aligned with? And and then all of a sudden we find that we are fulfilling our proposal. So whatever it might be, but really rewiring. So audios that I make clients are full of words that are rewiring the belief, whatever that is. And hearing the belief that is the truth about you over and over and over that you're listening to every day. So it's kind of like a re-imprinting audio, listening to it for about 21, even up to 68 days, depending on what it is.
Thank you. So let's say in this case let's say I feel unsafe sending sales proposals to people. How would you rewire that? Would you say I feel safe sending proposals because I'm aligned with the clients that I'm now attracting every day in my life? Is that something similar, or is there? Because sometimes it's like small words make a massive difference because they put a condition, or and then that doesn't work. Tell us the kind of things that we should be aware of in terms of wording.
Yeah. So getting to the root of safety could be based in a fear of being visible. And so I would take it so much deeper and find out, all right, what's safe? I mean, safe could be a physical harm. Safe could be you're afraid of being seen and being heard, and you being authentic has never been valued. So the audio might be, it's safe to be you. It might be, you are worth defending. It's safe for you to have boundaries. It's safe to speak your truth. It's safe for you to show up and shine and speak your truth. You might have grown up in a family where every time you shined and showed your truth, you were shut down, and you had to just be a little yes person growing up and do what you were told. And now all of a sudden you're trying to be your authentic self. And there's these inner parts of you going, are you joking? This can't be safe. Now you want to all of a sudden shine? No, I don't think so. So what does safety mean to each particular person? I would highlight that and give you words. The more descriptive our mind, our subconscious mind responds to visuals more than even words. So what do you respond to? I would ask you to say, well, what does safety mean to you? So you can ask ourselves that, like, what does safety mean to you? Well, it means I could walk into a room and I could say whatever I want. I could sit down and talk to people. So for someone else, it might say, well, I could wear this. I could drive anywhere. I could go to an airport. I can speak to a man or a woman. I could speak to my children. I could speak up. I could have boundaries. I could say no to my mother-in-law. What does it mean? I would put those things.
Wow, that is very fascinating. I'm sure a lot of people haven't thought of that. So tell us about how can someone recognize when they are stuck in a self-sabotaging pattern? And is there anything else they can do by themselves to stop that pattern?
Yeah. So I think the number one thing is, get curious about the areas of your life that you're repeating, that you're not happy with, and where it is it that you want to go that you keep seeing a cycle. So, I was in corporate for 30 years and I kept repeating. And when I actually moved into owning my own business, starting my own business, I actually noticed a lot of the same patterns. And I thought, wasn't that interesting? I'm not in that corporate world anymore. I'm on my own business. I can't blame the corporate culture or structure anymore. These must be my own sabotaging things that are going on. So get curious. What are these things going on? And your second question was, what can we do about them? Yeah. So getting curious and being aware. And I think not only, getting support about them, but one of the clever things that you can do is we get more of what we feel. So asking yourself, what is it that I want to feel? You want to feel more confident? Do you want to feel more safe? Do you want to feel, have more energy? And we all have moments throughout the day where we feel these things. We might want to feel more of them. So if you just close your eyes and ask yourself, when was the last moment in the last 24 hours that I felt safe, or I felt enough, or I felt, happy and excited? And think of that moment. And it might be when you open the door for someone. It might be when you shook a hand. There are moments where we have these things. Yeah, I want more of that. And allow that feeling to feel in your body, and allow it to come over your body even more and even more and even more. Because if you can tap into that feeling, your body will remember that feeling even more, and then think about the problem you want to tackle. Typically, when we think about something we want to do, we tap into fear. We don't tap into accessing that moment when we felt enough or we felt confident. So you just close your eyes and say, when was the last moment I felt confident? Okay, yeah, when I was talking to my friend, she made me feel great. Let me feel more of that. Now let me think about this issue. So we get more of what we feel. Just find a moment when you felt it. You can think of it pretty quickly.
Thank you. How can I feel more accepted and stop self-sabotaging moments where I could create that, where I could show up in a way that, I'm not sure if it's too complicated, the question, the way I want to phrase it, but
Yeah.
how can I stop sabotaging that, so that every time I'm wanting to shine and to be authentic, to kind of like stop self-sabotaging that and to kind of hide again?
Yeah. Feeling connected is the number one thing that humans need and want. And it's the number one fear, because the opposite is rejected. And it's such a primal fear. It goes so far back that if we are rejected out of the circle or the tribe, and we literally could not survive. So it's an intrinsic feeling. So the more you find that you are trying to feel connected externally, you're in trouble. So the way you get it is you tune in every day. How are you connecting with yourself? Are you connecting with yourself? Are you taking moments where you are finding a quiet moment within yourself? Are you in tune with your own needs? What are your needs? Are you in tune with yourself? Are you listening to yourself, your own intuition? Because we outsource our need for connection so much. But the more you are in tune and connected to yourself, you will find it such a blessing and a willingness and an ease in connecting with everyone else. We do not connect with ourselves enough. And we just instantly think we'll get that validation and connection from everyone else. But it starts with ourselves. So it starts with us. Oh, all of a sudden I can't hear you. There you
Tell
go.
us some examples of clients you've worked with who have self-sabotaged in multiple ways, and how did they overcome it? Like, what did they do in terms of, aside from taking therapy from you, what kind of phrases did they tell themselves, or in the audio that perhaps you created for them, or what change of behaviors did they create for themselves so that they stop self-sabotaging?
Yeah. I mean, everybody self-sabotages. So, one of the most amazing that I was trained by Marissa Peer, and she's so well known all over London. So you've probably seen the I Am Enough everywhere. But, I Am Enough is really, really powerful. And I've even had clients put it on their phone and write it on their mirror. I Am Enough is, and I'm taking that directly from her, but it is so, so powerful. I think I am enough. I've always been enough, and I always will be enough is so, so powerful. And whatever it is that you want, if it is feeling enough or lovable, or if it's finances, but saying that is available to me. So this is a huge, huge part of sabotage, is that we just think something's not available to us. So, love, money, but health and weight, yeah, no, that one's not available to me. So many successful people will have a lot of the slices of the pie, but not that one thing. They'll sabotage one thing quite a bit. So, and I work with all doctors, lawyers, very successful people, and they will have plenty of many things, but one vacant area that they sabotage quite a bit. And they literally have a belief that that's just one thing is not available to me. So we will switch that dialogue quite a bit. And I will just have them start saying that is available to me. Love is available to me. Money, that is available to me. Health is available. It has always been available to me. It is my divine right that that's available to me. If you think about it, when a baby is born, you don't say, I'm so sorry, that is not available to you. You're going to have a lot of things, but that one thing, honey, that's not available to you. We learn these things. These become, beliefs. They're just not true.
Thank you. For people that have been self-sabotaging for a really long time, is it possible that someone could just have a completely different life in, I don't know, in 3 months, in 1 year? And if yes, what kind of actions or routines or apps would they need to use in order to start a dramatically better life?
It's 100% possible. And I would say they don't need to do any apps or anything special. They need to get to the root of why they're sabotaging. I'm not a big fan of even affirmations or any of these things that I'm saying unless we get to the root of it. Because even saying I feel safe, if we don't know why you don't feel safe, it's sort of irrelevant. If we don't know why you don't feel love is available to you, it's really, we're not getting, it's like going out and weeding your garden and just smacking everything off the top. We're not getting to the root of it. So that's the core. If you want to, let's get to the root. You can do it in one session even. And from that one session, let's get to the core of your beliefs, and then listening to an audio. Your subconscious mind is rewired by repetition. This is science. You have neuroplasticity. Every human walking the earth has neuroplasticity, which is the ability to create a new neural pathway, a new way to believe something. And the more that becomes familiar, it is the way in which you believe. It just becomes who you are. So we find out why, and we create the new way you believe. It just becomes who you are. But if something else is more familiar, more emotional, a trauma, that is the way you believe. That is going to be who you are. You will sabotage your life. So we got to find out why and make something else stronger. That's it. No app's going to do that unless you know why. No affirmation unless you find out why.
Thank you. In my case, I find that I attract so many incredible people, incredible situations, incredible opportunities, even speaking opportunities and, just mind-blowing opportunities in general. And I find that when I get those, I feel so excited. I feel in flow. And I have this, just I'm living on this cloud of love and joy and excitement. And then what happens is that a lot of those opportunities kind of wither away, where I had this thing that I actually, I withered away myself, where I was invited to speak at an investment summit. And then I was invited also to be part of the board of directors to kind of advise on that particular event. And it's a really prominent organization. And then I just kind of looked at the different panels and so on that were available. And I didn't immediately say which panel I wanted to be part of because I just didn't see an immediate fit.
Yeah.
I said, oh, I'll think about it. And then I let it slide. And then I went to the event thinking, that everything will be fine. And then a couple of days before the event, I said, okay, maybe I could be in this panel. And then the guy says, oh, the panel is full. How about this other panel? Oh, this is full. So I ended up not speaking at all. So I completely self-sabotaged it myself. But sometimes there's just opportunities that come, hundreds of opportunities that come that most people would just dream of. And then they just wither away. Where would you go to kind of start seeing where things kind of start to go haywire?
Yeah, because you're very abundant, right? You have a big abundance, a flood of coming in. So, I would explore the worthiness, if there's a worthiness wound or a wound around, and I say wound, it's a belief, we all have these beliefs of keeping, of keeping the abundance, or holding on to love or abundance or wealth, because sometimes many people have a lot of energy, good energy about bringing things in, but not holding on to it, or deciding and choosing and the ability to have clarity around what's the best, or for me, or being in alignment with it. And if I do decide, then what happens to that energy, or will these other choices go? So I'd have to kind of explore that, but that isn't that uncommon. And and you have so much energy around you, around abundance. I mean, you already know that. So I would start there. And I would, as an energy healer, do energy healing.
Tell us about the energy of indecision and how that is a form of self-sabotage. And how can someone remove indecision to kind of lead a clear path towards whatever people decide to have in their lives?
Sure. Well, it's no different. So indecision has a benefit for us. I mean, if we don't have to make a decision, then, there's no fear of, I mean, we could fail if we make a decision, right? So we can fail. So where in our lives where we made decisions, or where other people made decisions for us? So where were we criticized for making decisions, or never given an opportunity, or where were we taught that making decisions that were not the right decisions? So going to the root again and showing us it's okay to not make the right decision. In fact, you learn from our decisions, and this never means that we didn't have great parents, or, we were raised around trauma. It's always what meaning did we attach to things, and what beliefs did we form around things? Because again, our subconscious doesn't understand how old we are. So it might have made sense at that age, that country, that situation, that culture. And now here we are. And all we have to do is upgrade the subconscious mind, literally. We upgrade our phones, we upgrade our apps. We need to upgrade our subconscious mind and say, hey, listen, you're in this situation now. Under completely different circumstances, it's more than safe for you to make a mistake when you make a decision. You just pivot. You just change. You're safe. You're good. And we just have to upgrade the subconscious mind. So indecision keeps us frozen, and your nervous system could be stuck and frozen. Fight, flight, freeze, frozen, fawning. We all get stuck in these modes. So our nervous system respecting that process too is part of the work I do.
Thank you. Tell us where entrepreneurs can connect with you and find out more information about your programs.
Sure. ChristinaLWoods.com, and then /free. I have a lot of free downloads and audios.
Follow me for more interviews with world's most innovative health change makers to live your healthiest life ever.